And welcome to the Dog Chug. I'm Ed in Columbus with Roger First in Cuyahoga Falls, and we have a special guest co-host, Sherry, the lovely Sherry, who's looking royal tonight. Hi, Sherry.
Hello.
Yes, and we apologize for the technical difficulties, but it might have been Sherry's entourage. When Her Majesty, is getting ready. Sometimes it slows things down a little bit, but we're here. We're going to have a great show tonight. And so I welcome you, Sherry. But Roger, what's going on, my guy?
Blame it on Sherry all you want. It's my Ed, you're the host tonight. I'm running the board, and technical difficulties, just old age. Chalk it up to old age. But we're here, and you know what, Ed? I'm tired, man. I'm tired. It's baseball dad life. It's a workload. You know what? Ask my friend Pat Sheeneman. Did you see this guy? His kid plays ball. You see him on Twitter?
Yeah, I think he plays for the same team that the hat that you're wearing right now. Is that correct?
That's correct. Today he followed me. His boy played right field today for the Guardians, and he's a baseball dad. And so that was exciting. He followed me, and then I invited him on the show, and he said, "Let's do this." So I sent him a DM that I'll never respond to.
Well, hey, sometimes you hit them fair, sometimes you hit them foul,
I told him it's going to be next week's special, Guard Chug with Zach and Chuck from around the corner. And I pumped it up. I pimped my kids in the DM of them playing baseball because that'll get a soft spot, So maybe it'll work out. He loves baseball. He's a dad, and that was my angle I shot. And wait, Ed, How can I forget? We opened the show. We're 5 minutes. Well, we're 15 minutes in. But technically, 5 minutes in, we never talk about the start of the show. He's not here tonight. He'll be back next week. I know everybody loves him. I miss him already, and it's Cyberdog.
Yeah, me too.
Cyberdog is off tonight. He's not here. He's the one member missing. Ross on vacation. We knew that. But Cyberdog's not here. And he scored us that gig.
Tell everybody about that.
Dog Chug's going to be on the patio of Basement at the Lakes, Manchester Road in Coventry. All right, Cyberdog with Dog Chug on the patio. He's my favorite. It's Sunday, September 15th, 2024. Dog Chug going to be there for the Browns-Jaguars game, all because of Cyberdog. And we got to thank Hank and Akron and Nikki Brady. Nikki Brady, her ass kind of long, Anakin. So, but she's the owner-operator there at the Basement. I can't read it. I have my readers on. The Dog Chug will be there, and we're going to promote the shit out of it, lead up to it. And what do you think, man?
I'm excited. Sherry, you down for that September 15th?
Where am I? I'm going to be there.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody out there, join us September 15th, Basement at the Lakes in Coventry. They say Akron, Coventry. I know that's a contested thing with the Akronites and the Coventry people out there, but hey, whatever. You'll find it on the MapQuest, Google, whatever. It's the same spot, same place. That's where the Dog Chug will be. Check us out September 15th, Browns and Jaguars with the Cybertruck.
Right. And it's 2 months away. I just hope the steering wire technology holds up. You know what I mean? Because screw that. Give me the goddamn ball joints. Give me some Tyrod Pittman arms, some bellow boots. Give me Henry Ford. Let them wear out. I know they're fucking working if they wear out, and I got to replace them. I'll get out of the fucking mechanic to replace them, and not some wire telling me that tell my wheels to turn left. I got a wire that tells my tires when they're low on pressure. That fucking light's always on. That thing don't work. Okay, listen here, Rocket Boy. Figure that out first. And then mess with the rack and pinion steering.
Right on.
Just give my friend Andy. I worry about the kids. My friend Andy and the kids. I worry about them with that steering. I don't believe in it. The technology.
So. Safety first. First.
Mm-hmm. I think they all will wear helmets while they're in there, right?
You should.
I would wear a helmet if I was in that Cybertruck. Because
we know one thing.
Not Cybertruck's fault.
Well, we know one thing Rocket Boy knows how to do. Congratulations. I think he's having his 12th kid. Is that
really?
Right? Yeah, I think he's doing that again. Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah. Rocket Boy. Yeah. He's got a crew for the galactic battle we're gonna have someday, I guess.
He's a litter. A dozen is it's a litter of children he has. Do you think he remembers all their names?
I have two and I struggle sometimes. So I don't. I mean,
Hey,
yeah.
guys. Lastly, also going to be there the pilot of Dog Show of Cyberchug will be there.
Okay.
Andy Mancha. He's the
Mm.
pilot that pilots the Cyberchug. He'll be back on the show next week too. Yeah,
Well, let's not ruin the show this week by bringing him up. I think we have some skits to get into and some fun that we usually get into. And I don't know about you, but I think it's that time, Roger. I think it's that.
It is that time for.
That's right. It's time for Breakhead News. This is in Columbus with your dog Chug. Breakhead News. Shaquille O'Neal performed after the Guardians game on Saturday and mentioned the World Series. Speaking of mentioning, we won't mention Shaq's rap career. As Tom Hamilton would say, struck out swinging. Andrew Barry said Deshaun Watson is ahead of schedule with his rehab. Reportedly, Watson asked Barry if he could resume his massage regimen, and Barry told Watson to hop to and spit on that thing. Hell no. And finally, the Rolling Stones performed at Cleveland Browns Stadium, and the band was reluctant to play their hit, You Can't Get No Satisfaction, when they saw the team had no Super Bowl banners hanging, but decided to play the song anyways because they don't really have that many hits. Seems like the Browns and Stones have a lot in common. You can't always get what you want. And this is in Columbus with your dog, Chug. Breakhead News.
Ed, I dressed fancy tonight. I was going to wear my Rolling Stone T-shirt, but since you were making fun of my favorite band, I didn't. Awesome job.
Yeah, I messed up the satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. I know the Stones.
Not close enough.
They'll be throwing rocks at me. The Stones get.
They can't. They don't have the bone strength to launch a rock at you. Don't worry.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll say one thing. Mick Jagger, for his age, he keeps going. I tell you, maybe he's got the same
children too, right?
Ooh, he does. Well, maybe he's on the same stuff Biden's going to be on tomorrow night. That Adderall. I don't know. Maybe that's what gets him going. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Really? So we have some of that, and
that was a great job, Ed.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of the Breakhead News. You know that.
Yeah. Ben is, you put something, this is, like I said, behind the scenes here for the audience, but the other day you put BEN, and I thought, we talking about the Bengals? What is Ben? But Ben, Breakhead News, Roger, you are the hippest guy out there, and thank you for that. Keeping me young. Roger is keeping me young.
I have arthritis in my fingers, so I try to make acronyms out of everything. It shortens my typing time, Ed. So I got it, and I have a table of contents if you need one to make them out.
The old table of contents, and Roger still used the Dewey Decimal System, so it's still doing its thing. But speaking, Roger, I think we have a Dog Chug update. Is that correct?
You know what we do, even though Andy's not here, we went ahead and put together this week's Dog Chug update. We haven't had one in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So let's get this off the screen. And here's Dog Chug's update. Okay. All right. Ex-Bronco and three-time Super Bowl champion Mark Schlereth recently spoke on Russell Wilson's toxic positivity in Denver on the Stinkin' Truth podcast last week. And he had this to say: I think when you're delusional, you can point the finger at 8 million different places that say, this is why this happened. This is why. Doubling down, he said, that toxic positivity and surrounding yourself with people that basically tell you it's not your fault, man. I mean, that's not even derogatory. That's just a fact. After the people that surround Wilson heard what Schlereth had to say, sources close to the Dog Show confirmed they all secretly agreed with him and think Russell Wilson's in a fucking weirdo tool bag and definitely will destroy the Steelers locker room. Let's ride, Pittsburgh. Where's Rose? Screwed up, man. I need a producer. Yeah, all right. In baseball news, the surging New York Mets, winners of 10 of their last 13 and 13-6 in June, have hit a bump in the road with closer Edward Diaz facing a 10-game suspension after being ejected from the team's 5-2 win over the Cubs on Sunday night. Third base umpire Vic Carapazza tossed the Mets flamethrower before even throwing a pitch after an inspection of his glove and throwing hand. Carapazza, the crew chief, said in a full report after the game, it definitely wasn't rosin and sweat on Diaz's hand. We've checked thousands of these. I know what that feels like. This was very sticky. Diaz was said to have been really surprised and stated, I rub it in the dirt a little bit to get a grip on the ball. I do the same thing every time. So maybe next time I just hook Tui on it and it won't be so sticky.
Oh. Hmm.
And in basketball, the 2024 NBA draft is being held today and tomorrow. Prior to the draft, there was much speculation on the landing spot for Bronny James, son of future Hall of Fame star LeBron James. Bronny's lone season at USC was hampered by personal health problems before the season started, and he never got back on track, averaging just 4 points a game for the Trojans. Most experts have young James going to the Lakers at number 55 in the second round. LeBron James has stated he doesn't care where the sun goes, it's all about fit. Those same experts also speculated if Bronny doesn't get drafted where LeBron James wants, he will flop on the nearest court, cry and complain to anybody that is around him. And that's tonight's Emmy Award winning worthy Dog Chug update. I'm Roger for Chicago Falls, and you're not. Back to you, Ed.
Wow. Well, you know,
He flopped.
we've never seen him flop before, have we?
Never.
You know, never. But
You know what? I can easily run the podcast if I didn't have to read at the same time.
Oh,
I got the reading part down tonight, Ed.
you did. That was really good. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
like I said, we do have some break-in news. Jalen Tyson, welcome to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You were drafted with the 20th pick overall. He's a 6'6" forward from California. So I don't know what they're doing over there with the Cavaliers, but welcome, Jalen Tyson, to Cleveland.
He'll be in Canton.
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't that where the Canton? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we had some comments though, Roger. If you know how to pull them up.
We did, man. Let me get to them. Yep. All right.
Yep.
Who we got here? Go ahead and read them.
StreamYard saying hi.
Oh, that's StreamYard. Hey, StreamYard. See, I can't read them. My computer's too far away.
Okay, well, I'll read them. You bring them up.
Who's she?
Yep. She says, "What's up? I'm like a minute late and missing why Sherry is dressed up like royalty."
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Cleveland squad, obviously, Lysandra says, "Hey, everyone." And our own Andy Manchin.
I watched the show. Did you watch the show last night?
I did.
I caught it today. Driving, I caught it today. And great show, man. What did Lana said that Joe Burrow reminds her of she said Eddie Haskell? She said somebody. And I was like, oh my God, that's him. No, it was Home Alone. The Home Alone guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And she said it now. I always think of him whenever I see Joe Burrow because that's him. So, oh no, look, we got the pilot of the chimed in. The pilot of Cybertruck chimed in.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
Yeah. He says, listening from the airport after a third delay make me proud, boys. Well, we're
third delay. Are you flying in Spirit? Is he flying Spirit?
It might be Frontier, Spirit, one of those. Yeah.
It's nice when the pilot of the dog, the cyber dog, gets a day off.
Oh, wow. But moving on, I believe we have a top 10. I think we have a top 10. I know we have a top 10. And that's right.
Exciting.
These are the top 10 Cleveland sporting events that were just as much of a shit show like a Trump-Biden debate. Roger?
I'm coming.
Okay.
This is my first day on the job, folks.
Okay. All right. All right. Number 10, Bottlegate. Plastic bottles don't hurt. Plastic bottles filled with piss do. Number 9, Johnny Manziel quarterbacking. Unlike Biden, he didn't forget, but also he just never learned. Number 8, 10-cent beer night. Just as combative as a Trump-Biden debate, but at least you could blame it on the alcohol. Number 7, Hugh Jackson coaching. Gotta trust me with this. If not, review the tapes. Number 6, the fumble. Biner's fumble was at least an object and not his words, like we'll see tomorrow. Number 5, the drive. I'm not letting Trump or Biden drive me 98 yards in any vehicle. All electric or gas, nothing. Number 4, the decision. At least LeBron made one in the time allotted, unlike these politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, the Browns move to Baltimore. Scary, like watching two old men move around the stage. Hopefully they won't be moving too much. Number 2, Indians to Guardians name. Name calling, name change, snowflakes, boomers, words matter to those that are easily triggered. And the number one Cleveland sporting event that's just as much of a shit show like a Trump-Biden debate is drafting Brandon Weeden, all roughly the same age, old as fuck. And those are tonight's top 10.
Oh, man,
Whoa.
this show is. Hey, this is the best Dog Chuck show ever.
It's our latest one. I'll give you that. It's the,
It's our
it's our
latest
latest
one.
one. It is definitely that. But, well, we did break ed news, or Ben, as Roger calls it in our, our chat. We did some Dog Chug update. We did some top 10. But you know what? People are probably wondering, why the hell is Sherry, Her Royal Highness, dressed like that? And I say this, it is a Dog Chug rule, maybe written or unwritten, probably unwritten, because we don't really know how to write. I mean, you can tell we don't know how to speak. We do that and we demonstrate that every week. But if you are to impersonate someone that makes you an expert, Sherry, or I should say Your Majesty, I have some questions for you. And
Yeah.
I need your expertise. Okay?
Okay.
My first question for you is, we saw Taylor Swift over in London. She was across the pond, and her boyfriend Travis Kelce was there, and he was frolicking across the pond with her. But I need to know, and we all need to know in the States, from your perspective, is Travis Kelce a bloody bloke? Is he a bloody bloke?
Well, while across the pond, his title changed from he was not knighted, but he became the Duke of Brohamingham while he was over there, of Brokowski, and now they're changing him and his brother. His brother obviously is jealous. Tay-Tay can get on board with it, but they're changing their name of their podcast to Tea in the Heights instead of just,
Okay.
in the Heights. It'll be High Tea in the Heights. So
Wow, he's embracing this British thing.
he is. He
Yes.
is.
Yeah. Well,
Wow. You only hear this kind of information on the Dog Chuck. TMZ, eat your heart out. That's all I got to say.
Right.
That's all I got to say. We bring in the experts, and we got the expert on tonight. But I got my second question here. And you are an expert with the whole tea and crumpets is what they served and what they eat over there. But what would you say is the equivalent in Cleveland, Ohio?
I was going to say chicken wings and losing. Oh, excuse me. No, my bad. Excuse me. I'm going to say Bertman's versus Stadium.
That's a debate. That's a hot debate right there. Maybe
That's a hot
even
debate.
hotter than tomorrow.
What mustard reigns supreme, I guess? Which brand of crumpet and tea?
Which do you prefer, Your Majesty?
Oh, Stadium, by far.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, like I said, it's good to have the royal palate in the house tonight. My third question for you, as I mentioned in Break Ed News, the Rolling Stones played in Cleveland just recently. But what would the equivalent be like that if somebody from maybe Cleveland went over across the pond and played in London? Would that be like MGK, Bone Thugs and Harmony? Is there any equivalency
Well,
to
there's
that?
going to be a collaboration. It's going to be called Machine Gun and Harmony. It's going to be a collab between Cleveland's greatest musicians.
Okay.
We're sending them over. This way the British don't have to be frightened to come to one of our more interesting neighborhoods on my side, on the east side. They don't have to venture to East 99th. Yes, they could stay on far away from the excitement and things that might scare them quite easily, like anything with any human with slightly more melanin than they have. So,
And dead bodies.
There are no dead bodies on there. I don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
allegedly.
Not a single. Allegedly.
Like I said, no indictments here, but
No.
just like you have to deal with over in England, with the paparazzi and things, they say things and it becomes, part of the old
Folklore.
Yes. So thank you for correcting me with that alleged allegation. But also, in terms of Cleveland sports, I need to know some equivalencies as well. Prince Harry, what would he be in Cleveland? Who would somebody that would be like him or has his qualities?
Prince Harry.
Yes.
I'm going to say Josh Naylor.
Oh.
They have similar hairlines in some regards.
Okay.
They're both a little older, handsome, dignified men. Both know what they're doing fairly well. They're good at what they do, and they're beloved within their communities.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. I like that. I think Naylor knows how to hit the fastball a little better than Harry, but I'd have to ask Meghan Markle about that one. Maybe we'll get her on.
Exactly.
Ask her. Anybody in Cleveland that could be like Meghan? Anybody?
Bo
like that?
Naylor.
Oh, okay. Josh's
Yes.
brother.
Yes, little
That's-
younger. Again, similar hairlines. They're both more so statuesque.
Okay.
Again, both the children love them, can't get enough of either one of them, so I'm going with Bo Naylor. They're
Now,
basically
could you see Bo being on the show with the Who Wants to Be? What was that show with the suitcases?
Suits?
When the money or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm messing up the show right now.
Absolutely. And he looks stunning in a gown, a floor-length gown. Absolutely.
Okay, flipping those. And then King Charles. King Charles is
King Charles. Tony Grossi.
Whoa, Tony. Okay, all right. Tony Grossi. And why would you say that?
Yes, please explain this to us.
Yes. That's very intriguing.
Because-
From rumor has it,
Okay.
they're both about the same age. They have the same sort of
Crotchetiness?
what?
Crotchetiness?
Exactly. There's the crotchetiness
Yeah.
factor is off the charts with both of them. They're both constantly scouring, no matter how good the news is. You're free of your cancer. They're gonna make a scout.
No.
I see it.
Neither one of them like hanging out with the people.
not the commoners. The commoners.
Exactly. The commoners, the peasants, if you will. They won't stoop down to that level. So therefore, that's why I am labeling.
He likes to keep his gloves white too. He doesn't want to
Exactly.
keep them dirty. Maybe,
Exactly. Keep them clean. Keep them out of the muck and the mire, if you will.
We appreciate your Royal Highness, but I have one more question for you. They say the sun never sets on the British Empire, but for bloody sakes, does the sun ever shine in England? And for that sake, Cleveland?
I was going to say, well, people love to stick it where the sun doesn't shine. So therefore, I'm equating that saying with the converse.
Okay.
Any sort of negativity just loves to be rubbed in people's faces when it comes to either place. So therefore, I would like to give it a more so positive spin, and I wouldn't rub anybody's nose where the sun doesn't shine. Only allow it to sparkle in the greatness of both empires.
Okay, well, I'm glad to know, and thank you, Your Royal Highness Sherry, for that. Like I said, you are an expert on all things that are royal, British. If you're going to come in here and dress up, love your crown, love the crown.
Yeah, thank you. I have my
self crown, Sherry. Oh, okay, all right. Look
cheers.
at that.
Cheers.
That was, you know what? I was waiting for the Jewish girl from Florida with the British accent the whole time, and I know.
That wasn't in my cliff notes. Otherwise, I would have done that, and I would have done it like high pitched, like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Like, oh boy, boys, let's get ready to do something now.
Very nice, very nice. Like I said, very nice. Well, I think that ends our royal segment. Eat your heart out, TMZ. We only get the finest
Right
from across the pond. So thank you for that.
That's, you know what? That's going to make a great puppet show. Like to review that as a puppet show is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, we have been known to
You can bring in Lady Roberta.
Oh yeah, shout out to
Lady Roberta fit right in.
Where is she? Curses.
Yeah, well, and Crew is dying to get back on, but
You know what? You know what? Oh my goodness! Breaking news! Breaking dog chug news!
yes.
I just received a DM
Ooh.
from Guardians rookie right fielder tonight. His dad, I invited him on Dog Chug next week to join us for Guard Chug. He said, sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Send me the DM.
Wow.
How about that? Breaking news. Patrick Sheenman right here on Dog Chug, Guard Chug next week.
And
Send me the
hopefully,
deal, I got it right here.
and if you're
Go ahead.
watching tonight, please turn this off because we want you to come back next week. So if you're watching tonight, hey, have a great night, sir.
There
We'll
you
see
go.
you
He
next
loves
week.
the show. He loves the show. He's into
Oh.
it. He loved it. He
Oh.
said Emmy Award winning for sure.
Wow.
It takes all types, you know.
It does.
All right,
It
I'm
does.
claiming that.
I did want to get into now, Sherry. You did a great job as somebody that with the British royalty ancestry. But I want to get back to Jewish Florida girl for a second.
Yes.
Now, the other night, you had a game seven between your beloved Florida Panthers. You were hunting, and we saw all the posts on X that throughout this Stanley Cup playoff hunt.
Yes.
And then my adopted team of the Edmonton Oilers happened to face your Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup. And I had proclaimed my love for Edmonton because, look, anything with an Ed in it's got to be great. But I realized after what happened in that series, and congratulations to your Florida Panthers,
Thank you.
that some things when you put after an Ed, like a Muntin, it just brings Ed down. So you know what? I want to say this to all the Oilers fans out there. Maybe you should change the city's name because you're bringing me down with what happened. But congratulations, Sherry. And you know what? I know it was very emotional for you. So let the audience know because, like I said,
so much
we had
crying.
2016 with the Cavaliers. But anytime there's a championship moment, I always like to get into the brains of those that actually, you feel it. That's your team. So tell the audience how you're feeling, what's going on, celebrate, brag, throw people under the bus if you have to.
Like, I don't get animated necessarily when there's a camera, just because maybe I'm too self-conscious, but because I was by myself and extremely excited, my mom called. I had to hang up immediately. Like, not yet, Mom, please. Then she called back. I'm like, not yet. Hung up on her. I mean, she's close to the action.
What
she's
did she
giving me.
want? She just wants your reaction? Did she?
Yes,
want
no, she wanted to congratulate me before the final, before the countdown, before everybody's
Best
gloves
part, that
come off and
countdown.
sticks fly. And I'm like, no, not yet, not yet.
Okay.
So, of course, I mean, I was like shaking and crying hysterically and didn't know how to digest what was going on in front of me because, just like with you guys in the Cavs, and hopefully within the next 2 years with the Browns, everybody will, be able to have this feeling, but it's surreal.
Question, did this mean, I know you're lived in Florida. I don't know exactly your whole history or whatever like that, but did this mean as much as the 2016 Cavaliers championship to you personally?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I spent the majority of my life in Florida. So they were my number one hockey team my whole life. So being able to witness it, I mean, from far away, I mean, I'm playing scratch offs to see if I could get down to Fort Lauderdale for the parade this weekend because it is in
Sunday.
Fort
It is
Lauderdale.
Sunday. Yes, it is Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one of my all-time favorite goalies now works for the organization, and today was his day with the cup, and he took it with him to work, and then he's having it at a fine Italian restaurant. If anybody knows Roberto Luongo.
Oh, well, yeah.
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 Yeah. He had the cup all day today, so
Nice.
it was fun watching him, and it's already been in the Atlantic Ocean.
I saw they put some beer in it. They were flipping it over. What would you do to the Stanley Cup if you had a day with
Fondue.
it?
I'm standing by it. I do fondue
Fondue.
in the cup. Yeah. Chocolate, not cheese.
Not cheese.
Because cheese is kind of stinky, It doesn't. I mean, some of the beer is stinky too, right? But it would be chocolate fondue.
now.
Would you defile anything, Roger? Would you defile the Stanley Cup? What would you do, Roger, if you had the day with the Stanley Cup?
No, I wouldn't defile it, but I would dip it in Lake Erie on our side of the lake. And then, you know what? We're watching the game. We're watching game six, right? Saturday night.
Yeah.
We're watching the baseball dads, and a couple of them were into hockey, and I was going with the Oilers just because Florida and hockey just don't. They should be in England. England's as far north as Quebec, so they should be in England. Your team, you should move them. You should move them to cold weather Britain, and then it'll fit in because you go to a hockey game and it's at ice. You come outside, it's 95 degrees.
Yeah, that was always the best part. That was always the best part of it because you'd go out in your hockey gear, which is all like sweaters, right? Sweaters, hoodies.
Sweaters, yes.
Yeah, and you'd go out And I was there when they were in the playoffs before and won, and we're moving on in the playoffs. And there was a huge dance party in the courtyard. It was like 90 degrees, and everybody's in their hoodies, like waiting for EMT to like arrive, because everybody's getting like heat sick from like dancing around and all their like cold weather stuff. They're sensitive.
Well, I thought the best part about it, Roger, we talked about this. If you've been watching the show in the past couple of months, Roger and I, we rail against the metric system, and we know the Canadians, north of the border, they like the metric system, but we showed them in hockey that what, it's been since 1993, the last Canadian-based team, the Montreal Canadiens, won the Stanley Cup. So once again, America is making hockey great again, and we're
exactly. And it's the first time the name Evan will ever be etched onto Lord Stanley's cup.
Oh, see the little bit of history.
Evan Rodriguez, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Which is cool. That sounds to me like a pretty American name to me, right?
It's definitely a Floridian name.
Yes.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's Florida. I don't know. So no, like I said, congratulations to you, Sherry. Like I said, I always like to get the human touch of things because
it was surreal. There was shaking and crying. I mean, I couldn't sit down. I was standing like the last 5 minutes of the game in the countdown, and then I'd like come back to reality and then see the time started moving real slow, and I'm like, come on, just keep the puck away.
Now, were they in that corner for like the final 10 seconds? Did you feel good about it then? Like, because nothing, I mean, they had like 20 people in that corner. I'm like, nothing's going on here. And you're counting down and you're thinking, there's no way now.
They're just going to keep the puck occupied and it's not going to get past anybody's skates. So I knew then it was going to happen, but at the same time, I didn't want to tempt fate. Didn't want to tempt fate by gloating, or in your facing anyone. I was waiting for the final countdown and for, Phil Pritchard to come out and present the cup.
Yeah. Now, Roger, they always talk about the Stanley Cup. What do you think is the greatest trophy in all of sports?
It's the Commissioner's Trophy for
baseball, Major League Baseball.
For baseball, without a doubt. It's not even a question.
Well,
because you know what? The Super Bowl trophy is just for TV, made for TV. The Cleveland Browns have NFL championship trophy. Super Bowl's just an ugly, it's ugly. It's the ugliest trophy I've ever seen.
To me, it seems cheap. It seems cheap.
It seems
cheap. It looks cheap. Look like you got it at like Silverman's.
Yes.
In 1975, and they stayed with the same thing. Now the Commissioner Trophy, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'll never forget. Speaking of the Commissioner's Trophy, what hurts, and going back to the whole Florida thing in '97, with the Indians, 2 outs away, and from what I hear, they had the locker room all tarped up and everything with the because the champagne was going to be flowing, and they had the Commissioner's Trophy in the Indians dugout and locker room dugout part, and then they had to take it away when Jose Mesa gave it. So that one, the Commissioner's Trophy, I'll give you that, Roger. It's very, very, very with the pennants all around it.
I want it back in. I want it back in our locker room.
Yeah,
and it could happen this year.
But Stanley Cup, I will say one thing about the Stanley Cup: the pageantry, and that's why, Sherry, that's why I wanted you to be royal tonight, not only because of our bit, but because of the pageantry of Lord Stanley's Cup. And there's just something great about that. And hey, we're bringing the royalty, bringing the pageantry back.
Just talking about it.
Well, that's what we try to do. We try to stir up emotions. I don't care what you say about our host that's not here tonight. We won't mention his name, but the Cybertruck operator. But sometimes he gets accused of being a little robotic, and so I try to bring feelings. I want people to feel. You only live once. You might as well feel.
Like
I'm glad, Sherry, you got to feel.
The slow motion, jump in the air, air punching, spilling beverages everywhere. Throwing your poutine on the floor, stomping on it.
And last question before we get into our my favorite segment. Well, not my favorite segment, but one I named, but we'll get into that. How did Moses and Chippy handle the commotion and excitement of the other night?
Oh, like
Moses
any
is a
dog
Red Wings
would.
fan. Moses is a Red Wings fan.
Is he?
He's a Red Wings
Piece of
fan.
shit.
Is he? How is he? He's a piece of shit. Is okay.
Traitor. That's it. He's sleeping in the garage tonight.
All right. Well, on that note, we will head into our signature segment of the Dog Chug, a signature segment that was coined by yours truly, me.
What gave you the idea, Ed?
Well, look, the good, the bad, and the ugly turn into spit, sip, chug, and I will
There you go.
always.
There you go.
Yeah, but
That's- yeah.
Roger, that's just details that I don't ever want to mention because then it takes away from me. But we'll
I
go.
know, that's why I got to bring it up every
Well,
time.
you would you'd be the one to do that, and thank you for that. So here's what I'm going to do. First statement. These are statements, not questions. Statements, not questions. If you disagree, you can hawk to spit on it. If you lukewarm on it, you kind of agree, then you're going to sip, and if not, you're going to chug. If you totally agree, you're going to chug. So first statement is
Can we hop Tui?
yeah, hawk to spit. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, hop Tui.
Okay. First statement. New Cavs coach Kenny Atkinson will fix the Cavs' problems with the rotation. And basically, he's the missing piece to fix what the Cavs have going on for next year. We'll start with you, Sherry. Is Kenny Atkinson, is this new Cavs coach, is that what the elixir for the team? The magic elixir, I should say.
I'm going to pull a Roger. I'm going to sip on it.
Okay.
And why? Why? Because he's brand new. What kind of chemistry? We don't know what kind of chemistry he's going to have until what? For a while. It's going to be a while until they develop chemistry with this new guy. So having to trust him and all of his plays and all of his expertise, question mark?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to sip on it. I can't defer either. It's going to be terrible because he doesn't know our guys.
Oh, you're not going to be like the calling people on the radio
No,
station.
no.
Crying, one saying he's the next Jesus. You know how it's either one or the other.
Yeah, no. I'm lukewarm about it because only time will be able to tell.
Very respectable sip, Your Majesty. Roger.
First of all, I want to chug on Sherry sipping.
Okay. All right.
First time in the history of Dog Show that Andy, or I wasn't asked to propose a statement first, and I was hoping because I always sip on the very first one, and she kept the tradition of sipping alive, and so I'm chugging on that. As far as this is concerned, right now, when I read it and we're on the show, I'd be texting Lysandra, and she'd give me something, and I'd read it.
Okay.
I watched.
I know I should have cheated.
That's how I do the same thing for football with Jacob Roach. Baseball, I just do my own thing. But I watched the show last night and they covered this, and so I got the info. He's good with young talent. He's he can bring along the young talent. What do they call that, Ed?
Player development.
Yeah, development, big in player development. He's been on a lot of good coaching staffs.
Yes.
Top coaching staffs. He's been behind Steve Kerr. Jared Allen played for him.
Yeah.
And he can't blame the mess in Brooklyn. That was when Kyrie went off the end of the flat world.
The earth is flat. The earth is flat.
So you can't blame that on him. So
Right.
all in all, according to Lysandra, it was a great hire. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Speaking of Lysandra, I see she commented and she kind of, I think, told you what to do.
Oh, I'm falling asleep on the comments.
Yeah, there she is. There. So there, I think, yeah. But she said everything she said. Check that out. Bougie Sports Squad Pod. They did it all last night and they probably did a better job than we are when it comes to actually explaining the X's and O's of basketball, and that's okay. That's fine.
That's where I get all my hoops information.
Yeah. I'm actually going to do a respectful sip as well. I think to all your points were great. Kenny Atkinson's going to come in. I think, it's a Dan Gilbert hire, but I think it's Dan Gilbert hire because I think Dan Gilbert wants to keep Jared Allen. I think he does want to keep the core four together. Will Kenny Atkinson hopefully fix the rotational problems and things that JB Bickerstaff got in trouble for on social media and all these call-in shows by the fans that think they know more than he? Yeah, I think he will. I think you'll see a different style of basketball. They do say that he's good with rotations. He's good with player development. Like I said, he's been on good staffs, as you said, Roger. But to your point, Sherry, and you made a great point about the time. And look, he actually is a coach that actually runs sets and different sets and plays. So it will take time for them to learn them and things. And that's a good thing, But I'm sipping on it because I think also to fix the Cavaliers, it's not just a coach, it's personnel as well. I think that, there are going to be some moves that they're going to have to make. I'm not saying they may keep the core four and it may be some other, moves, peripheral moves that they make. But I definitely think they need to make one or two moves. And so that's why I'm not chugging. Otherwise, I would be chugging. If you're going to tell me this is the exact same roster coming back 100%, then yeah, it is on Kenny Atkinson, and I do think he's qualified to get them to a better spot. Now, the New York Knicks have made a lot of moves lately. A lot of teams in the East are making moves, and it's kind of like, come on, Cavs, let's go. But I'm high on the Kenny Atkinson hire, but I'm sipping on this statement. So that will end statement number 1. Moving on to statement number 2. And I wrote these, and now I got to find them. but here's a good one. So the premise of this statement right here, is because I see a lot of people on X and on the radio calling and basically wondering what next year's definition of a good Cleveland Browns season is. So my statement is the Browns winning a playoff game will be considered a good year. The Browns winning a playoff game will be considered a good year. We will start with you, Roger.
I got to sit on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. And I told the gentleman over at the Emmy Award winning, I don't even know the name of the fucking show, with Adam the fucking Mole.
The Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
There you go, and the 2 nitwits on Saturday morning on
that would be Garrett Bush and Earl the Pearl.
I forget their names already. You know how many Garrett Pearls and Earl Bushes I've seen come to fucking Cleveland? They'll be gone, and I'll still be here. Both of them will be gone, I'll still be here. They'll be at McDonald's flipping fucking burgers. This is what I told those 2 fucking nitwits over there, that the Browns winning a playoff game be considered a good year if Jameis Winston is the quarterback at the end of the year and he played more than, say, 7 games, which I think he's going to play more than that because Watson ain't going to. But if Watson does miraculously somehow play the entire year, anything short of the AFC Championship game is a failure. We didn't bring him here to win. Baker Mayfield won a fucking playoff game. You know? We had 4 quarterbacks last year that got us to a playoff game, got us to it. Yeah. That ain't gonna cut it. Winning the division, that ain't gonna cut it. You got to get to the AFC Championship game, or the whole thing's a disaster and a failure. It's just the way it is. He was paid to come here to win a Super Bowl, not to try to win one. Does that answer the question?
Statement. It answers the statement. I'm trying to keep it.
Does that satisfy the statement?
I am satisfied. Roger. Right. Before I begin, can you bring up Lysandra's comment, because I want to.
Oh,
she has a new one.
You know what? We should have just had Lysandra come in and produce tonight.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I would be good with that. She did say spit. Baker took us to 1 game away from the AFC Championship game. Deshaun Watson needs to get us to at least the AFC Championship game if he lasts through the season. Now, I want to say this. That is a great point, but I want to say this. I'm sipping. I want to spit, but I'm sipping on that. Here's why. Because if you look at the statement, it says win a playoff game. In hers, at least from the AFC Championship, technically they could win a playoff game and then be in the AFC Championship game. Now they have to win their division and then win that first playoff game if they would get, say, a bye. And then, you know what I'm saying? So there's a universe where only winning 1 playoff game would put you in the AFC. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, the AFC Championship, if you got past if you got the bye, but I don't see. Yeah, maybe that doesn't work that way. So maybe, you know what, my math might be not mathing right now. So, okay, so you know what? I'm going to spit. You know what? I'm spitting. Lysandra, you're right. You know, we should have just had you on the show, not only producing, but hell, you should have been maybe taking my spot too. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm with you. You know what? That she's makes valid points there. So I'm spitting. You know what? A successful season is AFC Championship game for real. We need to wake up on a Sunday. Now, I remember being 9 years old, waking up and losing for the 3rd time in 4 years to the Denver Broncos. But, you know, you woke up on that Sunday with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And we haven't had that feeling in Cleveland since January of 1990. And it's about damn time we do. We spent a lot of money. This roster is supposed to be so great. And, you know, you see people on X all the time. Roger, you see them, Roger. Sherry, you see them on X. And they're fighting with these different fan bases. And they're fighting, you know, and they're saying, oh, great this team is. And you say one derogatory thing about the Cleveland Browns, and they're going to go gang up on you. So no, if that's the case, and these fans are willing to go to fisticuffs on X, then you know what? Then our expectation should be the AFC Championship game or bust. And if that isn't the goal, and that's not what we're doing here, then we need to shut the hell up as a fan base. Then, because I don't want to hear that a successful season's only winning one playoff game. That better get us to the AFC Championship game, or at least with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And that's why I'm spitting hot on that one.
Whoa.
Sherry, what do you got?
I'm going to be the token homer. I'm going to chug on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think you're just thirsty.
Right on. You can't beat the cold, refreshing, lukewarm.
Ooh,
I feel like I'm at the Muni Lot, Natty Light,
there you go.
Yeah.
summer post-workout beer.
Mm.
That I feel the vomit welling.
Oh.
We're going to go all the way. We're going all the way. Who the hell cares who the quarterback is? We're going all the way this year. Fuck everybody else. We're the Cleveland Browns. We got Jameis Winston leading us
Oh, I saw what you did there.
to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You can't tell me anything else. Nothing else. I don't want to hear it because you know what? In my mind, it doesn't exist. There's no hate living in my mind for free. Steelers fans, they can kiss my shiny white butt is what they can do. Ravens fans,
There you have it.
go eat your crab.
Ooh.
And the Bengals fans can choke on that disgusting slop that they called chili. We're going all the way to the Super Bowl this year. We're plowing through the division, and we're coming out on top.
Very Floridian Panther. Wow. Well, that
That's from my backyard wrestling days. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but Florida, we're like the birthplace of that nonsense.
that seems about right. Actually, all the stories from Florida, yeah, that seems about right. Wow. Okay, our
Thank God Alexandra's watching because nobody else is.
well, that's two eyes that hey, that we appreciate that. And,
And yeah.
yeah. Our third statement is, I'm just going to say it because I think in Cleveland, a lot of times we're always so scared to fan this way because it might jinx us or whatever like that. But fuck it.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Guardians are winning the whole damn thing. And I'm going to start with, I don't know who started last time. I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to start with me this time. I'm chugging. I am chugging. The Cleveland Guardians are winning the whole damn thing this year. I don't want to hear otherwise. You know what? They're going to make some moves and do what they got to do, but they find ways to win. They got a young, up-and-coming Hall of Fame manager in Stephen Vogt. Fuck it. Let's put him in the Hall of Fame. Let's put Josh Naylor in the Hall of Fame. Jose Ramirez definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. Fuck it. Let's go. Cleveland Guardians, 2024 World Series champions.
To that.
Sherry, back to you.
I'm chugging on that. You know how I feel about the Naylor boys.
Yeah, hey now.
I know other players too, but I just really like their brothers. It's so cute. They cheer for each other. That's so nice. If you were in the same situation, you'd be like totally cheering on your brother all day.
They're cheering for each other because they're like, "Hey, brother, you get a big fat contract, and I'll get one too."
Yeah.
And you know what? They're Canadians, and they've switched to the U.S. standard.
The standard system. That's standard. Yeah. They hit
Naylor,
home runs and feet. Home runs and feet.
They've abandoned the metric system in Canada. They abandoned and they are on the standard, American standard system. So I love the Naylor brothers too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're incredible. And I really enjoy Mr. Class A's hair. I'm a sucker for blue hair.
Ooh, that's Smurf hair looking good.
It is quite Smurfy. I enjoy it. So I'm they're yada yada yada. They're gonna end up winning us the World Series.
Nice. Roger, that 10-4.
Man. I want to flip the switch. I know it's June. I know we have a long way to go. I know that there's still kids in Columbus that are going to be on World Series championships for the Guardians. I really believe that we're not nearly complete as a team. But it is so hard to, at the end of June, deny what's happening with the team. So I got to chug. I got to
Yeah.
chug. I got to flip this.
Woo, that's all of us, right?
I've been the whole time saying, hey, let's all calm down. This is great. But and it's just I can't deny it anymore. And I got to chug. And the Cleveland Guardians, they're going to win the whole damn thing. They're going to win the whole damn thing. They're going to be buyers at the deadline. Watch, man. Watch. The Guardians, they know how to do business. They know how to win. I know a lot of fans did not give the ownership and the front office enough credit. And those are the people that want their fantasy GMs and they want to win now, and it don't work in baseball. Ask the Mets. Ask the Padres. Ask the Yankees. Teams that spend hundreds of millions of dollars and don't buy one. The Guardians know how to do it right. Look at Baltimore. We took 2 out of 3 in Baltimore. Baltimore, the last time they were in the playoffs before last year was 2016. They took that long to get back. We went back 2 or 3 times in that period. And last year they're the best team in baseball record-wise. But you know what? None of those young kids had the experience that we have in 2022 with Quan, with the young players that got with Josh Naylor. All of them got the experience in 2022 going to the playoffs. That only goes so much better for them this year. They're veterans, man. After last year being, they missed the playoffs and they, struggled. They're like veteran players with playoff experience. And they had to step up on a team like Baltimore because of that in the playoffs. So you know what, man? Nobody in baseball scares me. There's nobody in baseball that I'm afraid to play right now with this Cleveland Guardians team. So, fuck yeah, they can win the whole damn thing.
Wow. Also, Lysandra agrees. She's chugging. Guards are going to rock Cleveland this year with a championship. And Lysandra, we echo those sentiments as well, as all 3 of us have chugged as well. So that's like 4 of us. That's like a squad.
A hat trick plus 1. What's 4?
Something like that. Kind of.
It's hockey night, so we got a hat trick with an assist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. And this is my 4th statement and the last statement for Spit, Sip, Chug. My favorite one that I came up with. I'm actually gonna recuse myself from this.
No, sir. You got to go last.
All right. Well, I'll go last. Then I will go last. But okay, the 4th statement is Ed in Columbus has made the dog chug great again.
Yeah.
Sherry?
I'm going to chug on that.
I'm chugging with you the whole time.
That is terrible beer. It's so bad.
Any elaborations on that, Chuck?
Oh,
there's no words. It's just so obvious.
Speechless.
I'm speechless. And this beer is so bad. It's gotten to the point of where it's like warmed up enough to be even more disgusting. Yeah.
All right. Well, Roger, what are your thoughts of that statement that you chugged on?
You know what? Ed in Columbus has made dog chug great again. You know what, man? I was sitting our Andy and Ross are not on X, man. They're not on X like us. They're normal people.
Yeah.
They're like they have normal lives, and they like, you know what I mean?
How boring.
Right. And so they're not. And like Ed, when you came back and our production chat, because I would put a joke or two in the production chat and be like 2 days later, Ross would laugh at it. and I know it's a good joke, but it's not 2 days good, So Ed, you made dog chug great again because you revived me. I dressed up fancy tonight.
You did.
Yeah.
I was gonna wear the orange tie, so we matched and we had uniform, but I went with the Indians.
That's sexy. That's very sexy.
It is. But yes, of course, you made dog chug great again. I want to dance like Trump. I'm voting for you. The year of Ed was nothing. And this is Ed's year. I'm chugging on it, obviously, but
I want to say this, before the year of Ed, and that was all fun and stuff, but this is a new Ed. This is a fun Ed. I told you 2024 is going to be all about fun. And, I came back revigorated, rejuvenated, all those words, with the re in front of it, insert anyone.
Well, revigorate Ed.
Yeah. Ooh, look I saw what you did there. Ooh, look at that. But so like I said, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. I'm glad to be back. I've always said I love the Dog Chug. I've always loved what we do as a group and, kind of content that we put out and how we like to be slapstick and lighthearted and fun. And that's, we're different. That's the thing. Many podcasts, and there are many podcasts in Cleveland, and, and they're good. And I don't, say anything bad about them. They do their thing and they're really good at putting out content and everything. But that's just not us. We like to give, a fun show with, it's sports based, but we like to do it in a way that's, entertaining as well. So we appreciate all those loyal Dog Chug watchers out there, and we hope that you continue to do so. But we also want to attract more people, and we're going to continue to be our crazy selves. And I'm glad to be part of this journey. And, in nights like tonight, when I get to steer the ship, look, I enjoy it. I appreciate you guys. Sherry, thanks for co-hosting, coming on, playing with this madness. Look at you. You got a crown on, for goodness sake. You're looking nice, looking pretty. But that's what we do. We're entertainers, and that's what we want to do. And we want to entertain you and have a fun, positive spin on sometimes things that aren't as fun. Cleveland sports. Let's be real. We're not always in the winner's circle per se, but that doesn't mean we're not the best fans in the land. We always have been, always will be. And on the show, we just like to have fun and doing so. So thank you everybody out there for, letting me have the opportunity to entertain you. And so I definitely appreciate that. So I'm definitely chugging. I have made the Dog Chug great again, and I'm not done doing it.
There you go. See, and you didn't want to comment. That was beautiful.
See, you gave a whole sermon.
I finally woke up after all the little technical difficulties. Here's the thing. Like I've always said this about shows. We do a lot of prep for the show. On a lot of other shows, they got stats. They got to learn players. They got to actually pay attention to the sports. Roger, let's be real. We watched the Browns game, but Deontay Foreman, our new running back. I mean, do you know how many yards he averaged with the Bears? That probably not. And I don't either. I don't care. Our fandom's a little different.
3.7.
Okay. All right.
Whoa.
Sounds about right. I'm not going to argue because I don't know.
I'm not going to question it. It sounded right.
Right. We have no fact check.
Hey, I'm not waking Jacob up for this one.
No, we're not. No. And that's the thing. And we like to have fun that way.
You know what, man? We maintained and stayed true to what we set out to do from day one, and that's be a show for fans by fans. And any fan can come on. Anybody can DM me and come on. You know what I mean? And we're going to have a hell of a time. We're going to have fun. All of this has changed all my fandom and everything. You know what I mean? Ed knows, man, we take it serious. We're writing and we're putting together and we're doing our thing. Yeah. And,
it's fun.
I love working with you. So,
yeah. I mean, I always say there's
we have a blast. You know what would be a better show? You and I chat would be a great show.
I think we might get canceled. I don't know, Roger. I don't know.
We would get canceled. We would be like Morton Downey Jr. dude, man. We would be viral. And then canceled.
That makes a lot of sense. That's eventually the cancellations. Eventually, just when does that take place?
It's looming over here.
Well, it's like Sherry. It's America. They build
you up. It's just we have a good time. It's
we do.
Man, we just have a good time.
Oh wow! But we're gonna have a nice post game too. But so we're at our 1 hour mark, and I don't want to go too much longer because this show has gone by so quick. Smooth. It was huge show. But I always say like I call it closing time on the We Like Sports. Check out We Like Sports. I also host that as well. But closing time we do. And so Sherry, if there's anything you want to say, get off your chest, celebrate one last time, feel free.
Don't be ashamed to follow a Florida hockey team. We have more than one. There's one in Tampa Bay. There's one that just brought the Stanley Cup home to South Florida for the very first time in 30 years. The whole existence of the franchise go for something different. Don't go for the norm.
I did see
It never snows in
I
Florida.
did see the best post the other day after Florida had won the Stanley Cup, and it said Stanley Cups, Ron DeSantis 3, Trudeau 0. I thought that was great. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was
That's amazing.
undefeated. Twitter's or X is undefeated sometimes.
Absolutely.
Roger, any final thoughts? Closing time. What do you got?
Yeah. You know what, Sherry? I'm going to get on board with the hockey in Florida. I'm just I used to watch the Crusaders and go to Barons games, and then I watched the Olympics, and I was, I'm 11 years old when we won the gold medal in 1980. And then hockey was gone from Cleveland. You know what I mean? Right there would have been the point in the city of Cleveland to build a hockey franchise and feed off of that, and it never happened because I'd go watch hockey. My cousin played for Ignatius, and so my uncle he'd take us, to hockey games, and man, I loved it when I was a kid. And then I just I don't have, you gotta and I tried to be a Red Wings fan because I like Michigan, and I'm a Lions fan, secondary. So then I couldn't because I don't love them. You know what I mean? So I couldn't get into it. So I'm gonna screw the Canadians. I'm glad they lost by what was the series was 4-3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or 7.9 meters. Whatever you lost. Whatever the fuck the math is, you lost, and Florida won, and there you go. USA.
And my final closing time thought would be, I'm just glad that we made it through this week. It was a fun show, but like I said, we had our technical difficulties that we got through, and we did a great job. And everything when I was putting this show together, it came to fruition. Sherry, you did a great job, your Royal Highness. Roger, dressed up to the nines right there, looking great, looking sharp, looking that Ed in Columbus look. You're looking, hey, you know what? You pull off Ed in Columbus better than I do, and that's why you're my guy, and I love you. And I just want to say, everybody out there, like we always say, if you got them, drink them. And until next time on the Dog Chug, we'll see you. Have a great week, everyone.